biggest ones that we've had so far, and possibly for the entire life of the game. Like, even in the future, I don't see any news coming out that could be bigger than what we're about to discuss. Like, really. And there, right. Just gonna take the price tag off. There we go. Yeah, don't wait for that. That's not an unboxing video though, but the unboxing of OP10 and the starter deck 21 is gonna come right after this video. No, rather this video is gonna be to talk about all the One Piece news that have been going around lately and everything that I missed lately. I had to make like a ton of research because I couldn't keep up at some point with everything that was going on. But yeah, we're gonna have a big refresher right now about everything going on for the game. So first and foremost, yes, starter deck 21, I have it right here in my hand. You can see it on screen as well. Is finally here alongside OP10, but we're gonna get to that in a second. The deck features Luffy in Gear 5 form. It's a starter deck EX deck, much like the starter deck 13 and starter deck 10, if you remember. And that means that much like those starter deck, you see the box is very much bigger than the previous starter deck because there's a lot more in this product. So actually not that much, there's just sleeve. There used to be like a deck box. I have one right here. There used to be like deck box. This one has dice in it right now, so that's why it's making like so much noise. But they seem to have done away with that because I don't see it on the box, but there is sleeves included with the starter deck, and there are also going to be a bonus pack in each deck that you're buying. So I'm going to have two to open, and each bonus pack will have 3 alternate art cards from one of the cards in the deck. All the characters are going to be available in alternate art, but they're just going to be full art of the base cards, and the leader is the only one that's going to be different because it's going to have the kind of vibe that the starter deck 13 alternate art had, which is like sort of pearly white like that. But anyway, very good deck to pick up if you're starting out the game and if you like Gear 5 Luffy. The power of the leader is reminiscent of the starter deck 1 Luffy, aside from the fact that this one is a bit more potent. Like you used to be able to move around 1 done with the starter deck 1 Luffy. This will help you move 2 done, so a bit of a power up. Next item on the list, well, this is going to be the release of Royal Blood. The next set, OP10, is finally here as well alongside the starter deck 21, and of course in this set there's going to be a lot of cards that you might want to seek out, and my personal favorite is going to be Divine Departure. If there is one card that I wish I can have from these 2 boxes right here, it's going to be this one. I don't even care for the manga. The manga of the set is going to be Trafalgar Law. I don't care for that. I don't really care. Really. I don't even care for the alternate art leader this time around. I just want an alternate art Divine Departure. That's all I'm asking for. Maybe it's too much. Maybe it's not. We'll see. We'll see in the video. Well, now this is the part where we're going to be a bit technical about the next news, because we are at starter deck 21 and OP10 right now, but we already know the product plan for the rest of the year. Now, of course, this is something I've talked about previously on the channel, where you just take whatever happened in the year and you just know that it's gonna happen pretty much the same the next year. But we're gonna be seeing some very big change in the future. So as far as project go for the roadmap leak that we have for 2025, you can see it's kind of weird. It's gonna change a lot. Right now we got the starter deck 21 and OP10, and our next set is set to be EB02, which is going to be a very hyped set as well. It's going to be like the Memorial Collection that we've had before, the Chopper set, which was a sort of intermediary set with only 60 cards. But this one is gonna feature like some very cool cards, so don't miss that set, because it's scheduled for May, so that's very soon. And that set will celebrate the animated series. Next, we're gonna have OP11 in June, alongside the starter deck 23 to 28. So there you can see already something weird. We have the starter deck 21, and we're gonna have starter deck 23 to 28 in June. So starter deck 22, if you see on the map, is actually gonna come out in September. So that's very weird, but I mean, it can happen. We don't really care about that. That's not like very much important to us. That's just a starter deck. And note that this starter deck is gonna come out a month after OPO 12, which is due to come out in August for this year. So that's gonna be like very, very early, because the anniversary of the game is gonna be in November. They have planned it for November this year instead of December. So OP13 is gonna come out in November instead of December for the anniversary. And we're gonna have like 2 months of no mainline set going out for the game. What we're gonna have though is PRB02, which is confirmed to come for the game in September alongside the starter deck 22. We also got some news on PRB02 as well, so stick around for that. Of course, this info, all this information are to take with a grain of salt, because the official website placed the tin set in April 2025, but this leak suggests that they have been pushed back to November. So we're gonna have to see about that. Also, you can see a description of the starter deck 23 to 28, but there is already a visual on the website, so we know all the leaders. It's gonna be much like the starter deck that we've had from 15 to 20, where we're gonna have a known leader that's already available with an alternate art and more cards to go along with those. Is it worth it? Is it not? That's up to you to decide. The previous release of those starter deck have been a very good thing for Doflamingo, the OPO1 Doflamingo, but it's up to you to see if one of the leader piques your interest. And also, each of those decks will include a booster pack of OP11, much like all the starter deck that were from 15 to 20 have been including a pack of PRB01. So that's gonna be the same deal here. You're gonna have bonuses with the purchase. And for those starter deck, we have Shanks, the red Shanks that just came out for OPO9. We have Jewelry Bunny. We have Buggy, which is a very interesting leader that debuted with OPO9 as well. We have the Gear 5 Luffy, also available in OPO9. We have Marshall D. Teach, the absolute GOAT leader to me, leader-wise for OPO9. The leader is so fun, and his new mechanic is just like really bonkers. I really like it. And we have Yamato as the final leader, which is the green-yellow Yamato that we've had before, which allow you to have double attacks. And also, since it's a green-yellow Yamato, you can play the Onami in the deck, which give banish. So double attack banish is very, very strong. Just know that. And just like starter deck 15 through 20, that's gonna be leader reprints with a new twist. And just so you know, like, Shanks have been in the final of the Bandai Card Game Fest recently, so that's a very good leader that you can count on. So you should be excited for this. Also, we're gonna have booster packs of OP11 in this, like I said previously, and the release date is scheduled for the 28th of June, so mark your calendars. Next, I do apologize, I couldn't find those screenshots in English. I know they exist, I just couldn't find them, so there you have them in Japanese. You can Google translate them, but I'm gonna explain it anyway. So this is the slide that is telling us about PRB02, One Piece The Best Volume 2, and it's announced for Japan for the 26th of July. So we're gonna have information soon about this set. Like I said previously, our version of this set is gonna come out in September, but that doesn't mean that we're not gonna have information beforehand. So we are gonna be able to see if this set is gonna be worth it, and if PRB01 is anything to go by with this news, it's gonna be definitely worth it. Like, PRB01 was a huge set with lots of reprints from old cards, very staple cards, and offered like 3 alternate art per card. That was huge. There was 30 alternate Dawn. So yeah, that is some very big set for collectioners, so you should get hyped for this. And it's also gonna be, I think, the venue for a brand new thing that they're gonna do, and those are part of the biggest news that we've had for the game so far. So we're gonna discuss it at the end of the video, so stick around to hear about that. More roadmap for now, because we know now about the anniversary set. We know the theme. Of course, we knew that it's gonna come in November because we saw this in a previous slide, but this is another slide of the same presentation confirming that the anniversary set is planned for November, and that the theme is gonna be the Three Brothers. That's not everything that we know about this set. There have been new information since that leak, and we're gonna talk about this. It's gonna come for the 23rd of August 2025 in Japan. This set will be based around the Three Brothers, but it's an anniversary set. That doesn't cut it as being special and anniversary-like. And last anniversary set, which was OP09, we've had like Gol.D.Roger, the secret rare, the gold manga that was like awesome. We had the 4 Emperor with the 4 wanted poster. That was a huge set with a lot of stuff. OP05, we've had Gear 5, we've had 3 manga rares in the set. We've had huge things for any anniversary set. So they're gonna do it again, and boy. So there is a trailer for this set, so I'm just gonna play it right now and we're gonna talk about it after. Okay, enjoy. Yep, that is right, my man. Gol.D.Roger is coming as a leader for the game, and it's a red and purple leader, which means that the Gol.D.Roger that we have as a secret rare is going to be playable with that leader. We don't know the effect yet, but I mean, the secret Roger that we had a pretty bonker effect, where if your opponent tries to block any of the attack that you're going to do, you just win the game. So I'm excited. Gol.D.Roger is actually the character that I've asked for the most in a leader since the beginning of the game. Every survey that they've done, I've said the same thing. So yeah, I'm very excited for this leader, and it's not the only leader that we know for the set. The theme is gonna be the Three Brothers. So we know Ace, Sabo, and Luffy are just gonna be leaders in the set. We know Gol.D.Rogers. That leaves 2 leaders that we don't know yet about. Except we actually know one of them. There has been leak where we saw the last 2 leaders theorized, but I'm just gonna talk about one specifically because the trailer that we just saw is nothing but a big hint at that character as a leader. And if you're quick thinking, you know that the way the trailer is presented means that Emu is gonna be present as a leader in OP13. Nothing is known about Emu right now other than he seems to have a gripe with Joy Boy and the Nefertari family due to one of their ancestors being the reason the road poneglyphs are scattered around the world. I mean, that, and he also have a weird icy straw hat fetish going on. What's that about? Of course, we have still tons of product on the side, so official sleeves are also announced, and the only reason I'm talking about this is I'm definitely gonna buy the Roger one. I mean, come on, that's Gol.D.Roger we're talking about. If I'm building a Roger deck, I need to have Roger sleeves. Of course, that's a given. And we're still not done with new products. We just talked about everything coming out set-wise, starter deck-wise for the game. We also have new premium banded product coming out. We have a binders with 7 Warlords of the Sea. That's a new premium Bandai product, so if you're in the UK and the US, you can pre-order this, but here in Europe, we're basically We need to go around and find a way to pre-order this because we can't go and access Premium Bandai. So if we want this, we need to know a store that is able to pre-order them. But it's a binder set. We've had binders before for the One Piece card game. I wish I had bought these binders when they were released, but I couldn't. So now I'm thinking maybe I can buy those and try to buy the other ones, but they're gonna be pricey as Either way, you're gonna have a binder. You can see both covers right here, and you will have a ton of reprint cards from the 7 Warlords of the Sea. So you can see you have actually 2 Boa Hancock. I didn't know this before. So you're gonna have Weavile, Bartholomew Kuma, Doflamingo, Mihawk, Jinbei, Trafalgar Law, Moria, Buggy, Doflamingo again, 2 Dofi and 2 Boa Hancock. Okay, and a Marshall D. Teach alternate art, all except one, all blue except Bartholomew Kuma. So yeah, you could potentially play this with your Dofi, but that's gonna be like very short-lived. We're gonna talk about this in a second. But before we get into the 3 final news of this video, which are gonna be the biggest ones that we've had so far, and possibly for the entire life of the game, like even in the future, I don't see any news coming out that could be bigger than what we're about to discuss. Like really. Please remember to subscribe to the channel. I cover this game front to back, and I talk about pretty much anything geek, so if that's your jam, you're in the right place. Now, I have talked about this in the past, and this was a huge interrogation mark until now. We're gonna have rotation. What is rotation? Rotation is when previous sets in a trading card game go out of rotation and you can't play them anymore in tournaments and official events. That's gonna happen for the One Piece card game. The rotation is set to start in April 2026, and Block 1 will go out of rotation. That means One Piece, that means Romance Dawn, Paramount War, Pillars of Strength, and Kingdom of Intrigues. All those 4 sets will go out of rotation. You will not be able to play them anymore, which is a shame because there's my VV leader in that, and Katakuri, and a ton of other cool leader, and Doflamingo, the blue Doflamingo. Now you know why I said you might not be able to play the alternate arts 7 Warlords of the Sea for that long. But they will go out of rotation. That means that starter deck 1 through 9 will also go out of rotation. And believe me when I say there's a lot of cards from Block 1 that are still used to this day in recent deck. I mentioned the Shanks deck above before in the video. That was in the final of the Bangai Card Game Fest, and that Shanks leader had at least 5 cards coming from Block 1. That's huge. That's absolutely huge. And the deck in front of it was a Rob Lucci, and that Rob Lucci also had like 4 to 5 cards coming from Block 1. You couldn't imagine how massive this is going to be for the game, because a lot of cards are gonna become tournament illegal. Basically, you won't be able to play them. Now, there's a weird thing about this, is that they're gonna call this format the standard regulation format. And there is some other caveat to this. So right now, fairly simple. Block 1 go out of rotation, we play block 2, 3, and 4 because we're gonna be in the 4th year, so you're gonna be able to play 3 blocks simultaneously, except when you play in a supplementary regulation format, which is a thing that they're gonna plan, so you're gonna be able to play whatever you want in those formats. So what is the point of a rotation? I guess it's just to like prevent the use of all the cards in like the championship, the world championship, but every other thing, it's gonna be fine. You're gonna be pretty much able to play whatever you want, provided you sign up for the right tournament, basically. But there's more. There's more to add to the weirdness of this rotation system with all those 2 formats that they already have, is that Block 1 cards will be dropped, except for the manga rares. The question is though, all those cards have regular art counterparts, so does that mean that those cards can be played? Like if we take the Shanks that we see here, the manga Shanks, which which actually came out in OP01. We have the manga rare Shanks, but we have an alternate art Shanks, and we have the base art Shanks. Are those cards tournament legal? Or is it just a manga because they're manga, so they're cool, and therefore we can play them because f it. Now, we don't know yet about this, so we're gonna have to wait for more information on this, because right now it's kind of unclear. The second piece of news that dropped, which is really heavy for the game, and that's gonna have an impact this year, is the new ban list. So Moria, the 8-cost Moria from OP06, is finally added to the ban list. That was a long time coming. Everybody complained about him. He's too powerful. You can play 2 cards rested from your trash, and that's too strong for a card. Now, I don't complain personally. I think it's fine. I don't think we need to ban anything, especially because rotation is gonna take care of this sooner or later, so that the problem is gonna fix itself, I guess. Jinbei is also gonna be banned starting April 1st, 2025. All those bans are gonna be effective pretty soon. Let me check here. Yeah, in 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, say goodbye to Moria, to Jinbei, to Ice Age, and to Kingdom Come. Jinbei, of course, very played in the Dofi blue deck, so again, things are not looking good for the Flamingo. But Ice Age also, it kind of hurts me, because the last deck that I did, which was actually a Moria and a Teach, I played this card in those decks, so gonna have to find something else. I'll look into it. And Kingdom Come, I don't really know, because quite frankly, EBO1 cards are... some of them are played, but I didn't know the use of Kingdom Come until now, and I still don't really get it. But NL is gonna take a big hit with that, and it's not like unheard of, because the previous ban actually included Reject as an event, because it was too strong in NL decks. So I guess this is kind of the same thing. But yeah, with the rotation coming, we have to hope that these will become less common. Bans are becoming less common, because Bandai can make tweaks to the game and avoid their past mistakes with future cards. That said, I don't see how they will do this effectively, because the last piece of news is absolutely massive, and it can severely hinder Bandai control when it comes to asserting if a ban list is gonna be necessary or not.
We have your champ, Cross!
That's right. Of all the recent news, the biggest one of all is the announcement of simultaneous worldwide release going forward. From 2026 onward, all versions of the game will have all the same release date. No more waiting in between sets looking at the meta in Japan to guess what is gonna be played in the West when you're gonna get the set. No more being 2 sets behind and longing for the new cards, because, well, you can see like Japan has theirs and they're playing with them and it's so cool, and you're just sitting there like... We will all experience the sets at the same time and all released will be synced. And this has some severe implication also for the anniversary set, since we had several separate dates until now. We've had August for the Japanese anniversary, we've had December for the English release, and we have now the January for the French release of the game. So how are they gonna do it? I don't know, but maybe like getting the anniversary set this year to November is kind of part of the plan, to try and fuse the date slowly. But this means that the structure that we have right now for the release of the set, the plan that I've made, the roadmap that we've had, they're gonna be all wrong in the future. We're gonna have to reassess what they're gonna do each year, in what order, to see what structure they're going for. Now, EB01, EB02, PRB01, PRB02, there are sets that I think they will keep. They serve as a nice way to get collectors cards with PRB01. EB sets are really injecting new lives into past cards for the rest of the meta, so they can compete with newer sets. So I think they're gonna stick with that. Right now we have like around 10-ish starter deck per year. And that seems to be like what they're gonna keep, and we're gonna have like 4 to 5 mainline set released per year. That's my opinion on this. Now, another thing that I haven't mentioned, I'll put it in the screen right here over this, is that when it comes to rotation, they also plan to re-release previous cards from block 1. For in this instance, for the first rotation, they're gonna reprint cards from block 1, and those reprints that are gonna come maybe in Para B sets, actually, those will have the new blocks on them. So imagine the Searcher Nami from OPO1, okay, a very strong card, very played in all the Straw Hat Crew deck, which use the red color. That card has been played to the ground. This is a staple. Otama is the same. Otama is a red card from OPO1 that has been played to the ground, and is played in all the red decks you can imagine. Those cards, they're gonna retain the OPO1 reference on them, but they're gonna have the new block right beside them. So those cards will be reprinted for the new block, will be tournament legal. So I don't know why this is, because they can just like re-release a new card with a new art and basically keep the same effect. That would be like strictly the same, but that's gonna be a good thing for collectors, because now Otama, for instance, and Nami, actually those two examples really match. They are very popular character with a ton of alternate art already, and now you're gonna have a new Otama with the same effect, with OPO1 reference on them, but with a new block icon right next to it. So collector wise, you're gonna have even more stuff to get, and that's really like a good thing for all the collectors out there. For player though, I don't know, if you want to play Otama in the new block and it rotated out, well, you're gonna have to get your hands on the new cards. So not that great player wise, but again, cards tend to be like dirt cheap when you buy them singles, depending on the card, of course. So who knows? Who knows? But for now, this is gonna be it. I'm planning to do the OP10 opening and Starter Deck 21 opening next. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure to subscribe to the video. And if you want to see OPO9 opening that I did back in December, you can check the video out right here.